We now live in a world where everyone has heard the name Whedon. But it wasn't long ago that his work was limited to cult following and TV shows that were cut off way before their time. Thanks, Fox. Well, those idiots aren't in charge of his fate anymore, and while Disney may pay the bills, Joss is once again boss. With Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. once again putting Joss on the small screen, let's take a look at how his television career started out. This is Joss TV, the history of Whedon television on a very special episode of Real School. Considered by many to be the only third-generation television writer out there, Joss, behind his father Tom and his grandfather John, already had a pedigree of successful shows behind him. He grew up watching his grandfather write for Andy Griffith and Dick Van Dyke, and visited his father on the set of Benson and the Golden Girls. His own career started with steady gigs on Roseanne and Parenthood, but it was writing for those shows that he wrote the screenplay that he would start to become known for. In 1992, there was a little movie starring Kristy Swanson in the title role, the ironically named Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Which is what Joss was going for, irony. Joss wanted to show that even a blonde California cheerleader could be an empowered woman. Let's just say, audiences didn't get it. So when a B-movie, which seemingly had problems with acting, writing, and directing, was then adapted for television, and the writer wanted to direct, few gave it a chance. That is, until it aired. Originally picked up as a mid-season replacement, Joss only had 12 episodes to prove that this concept could work. Now, teenage dramas had already proven to be quite popular, but Joss took that concept, added action, demons, and the clever subtext that high school is literally hell, and he began his cult following. And Buffy is arguably still his most successful tenure on the small screen, lasting 7 seasons. Now it's time for What in the Whedonverse? Basically, what did Buffy bring to Joss's world? Basically, as I had mentioned before, it was the metaphorical Big Bang that spawned the Whedonverse. Sure, Joss had already had some success as a writer for film and television, but a couple seasons into Buffy, and he was on his way to becoming a geek god. It was also the pioneer for young adult vampire romance shows. Buffy paved the way for Kindred the Embraced, True Blood, and the Vampire Diaries. For that, Joss, I both love and hate you. Of course, Buffy also paved the way for a spin-off. Am I alone in thinking that the theme for Angel is still the greatest television theme song of all time? I still want to learn how to play the cello. Joss took 2 original cast members, added an old colleague from his Roseanne days, and turned a 3 cast member show into the beginning of a dynasty. Angel also continued the same themes and metaphors that Buffy had, but it touched on adult life a little bit more, and it was a great way to evolve with its audience. So, what did it bring to the Whedonverse? Well, you know the one thing that Whedon is really well known for? Witty one-liners? No, the other thing. Killing off characters? That's the one. While we had 3 seasons of Buffy under our belts, there were a few unexpected deaths, but they were really supporting cast members. In the 5 seasons of Angel, Joss truly established that no one was safe and nothing is sacred if it meant the improvement of the storytelling. Angel was also not without its challenges. There was constant fear of cancellation, network changes, ratings were just not the same as Buffy, and of course, tragedy struck original cast member Glenn Quinn. Also, there was talk that while clearly Joss had a very capable team, including David Greenwalt and Tim Minear, that he might be spreading himself a little too thin. So was a third show really what he needed? Well, fans now, of course, give a resounding yes. Inspired by the novel The Killer Angels, Whedon wanted to tell the story from the perspective of the losing side of a critical war. Joss took that concept, combined genres once again as he had before in Buffy, to create a space western and tell the story of a ragtag group of criminals just trying to survive. It's really too bad that is ironic. Little did Joss know the fight that Firefly had ahead of itself just to survive. As much as the fans clamor for the show now, even inspiring a feature film comeback after it had been cancelled, At the time, the show was really not supported enough. Of course, it didn't help that Fox moved it around, aired episodes out of order, and cancelled it after only airing 11 out of 14 episodes. So while we get so much out of Firefly now, what did it bring to the Whedonverse at the time? Not only was this another great example of how Joss can mash genres, but he also learned a valuable lesson from his 2 previous shows. Whedon has gone on record as to say he always writes his best work when it comes to ensemble pieces, which is why Angel started out with 3 cast members, but of course had to grow. Firefly was the first work that didn't center on just one title character. The great ensemble writing of both Firefly and Serenity, which is another strength that Joss is now known for, really paved the way for works like the Avengers. And its comeback is unprecedented. It really showed how passionate fans are for this man's work. One thing I will never understand is why he went back to Fox. One thing I will understand, being a fan of his work, is why Joss likes to work with the same actors again. Looking for a project to re-team with Buffy and Angel reoccurring actor Elijah Dushku, and clearly forgiving Fox for the Firefly faux pas, Joss moves on and creates his darkest and most adult television show about actives, dolls who can be programmed with any personality. Dushku wasn't the only Whedonite to once again act for Joss on this show, as Alexis Denisof, Amy Acker, Summer Glau, and Alan Tudyk all made reoccurring appearances. The funny thing is, Alan Tudyk and Summer Glau marked the 4th and 5th time a Firefly actor has played an antagonist on another Whedon show. So what did it bring to the Whedonverse? Besides more anger towards Fox? I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can't really blame Fox. In fact, Dollhouse was the lowest rated show in 20 years to be renewed for a 2nd season. While Firefly and Dollhouse may have huge cult followings, they didn't have the ratings. On the bright side, that seemingly gave Joss the space to make his most unapologetic work. That, paired with the fact that his stock is at an all-time high, should really spell good things for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Poll question: what was your favorite Joss Whedon show? As always, leave your answers in the comments section below. So enjoy Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and until next time, school's out.